I'm just coming up.
Hey, it's YouTube. How's everybody doing? You guys just heard Amy in the background briefly. Jared Fuller here. Today is Sunday, April 28th, 2019.
Hi, everybody, and I'm escaping out the front door.
Another edition, another installment of the Sunday video update. That's Dad, of course. Dad over on this side.
Hello.
And then Amy, she's going to be exiting stage south out the door. You can leave that open if you want.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So I hope you've all had a wonderful week. My week was kind of, it was a long week. I stayed in the room yesterday. Oh, it got dark. You want to turn that light on? No, it really doesn't do much justice.
Let's see.
Ah, there we go.
That better?
Let there be light. And there we are. Okay. Yesterday was, I stayed in my room yesterday. You know, I have my good and bad days like anybody else. And yesterday I just didn't feel any motivation or enthusiasm or just any kind of anything to get out of bed. I just stayed under the blankets all day yesterday. And okay. Oh, I know where to find you.
It's dark, ain't it now? Now it's really light.
What I need is a brand new desk lamp. That would probably help make all the difference. But yeah, I stayed under the blankets yesterday in my room. Usually I'm active, and yesterday was just one of those days where I didn't have any energy, motivation, enthusiasm whatsoever. It's like, screw it. I'm just going to stay under the blankets for the rest of the day. I actually started doing a video update this morning, and then I got tired as I was doing it. And I told my dad, so I'm going to go lay down and rest for a little while. I'm still not sleeping. I haven't went to sleep.
Hello again.
Hello, Amy. And I still haven't been to sleep. Like I said, I wanted to. I went into the room to lay down and didn't. Too many distractions, I guess, or just my mind is racing constantly. But I got like maybe 5 hours of sleep all throughout last night. So yeah, I'm kind of on the drowsy side of life today, but really wasn't much happening last week. Not really.
Nope.
Yeah, it was just I went to my cousin's house and hung out with them for a little while, and my little cousin Nevaeh, who's going to be 8 in June, she comes up to me and she wants me to pick her up, and she's tall for being 8 years old. She comes up to my stomach, and I'm 6'5". But anyway, I picked her up, and I said, "How you doing, little lady?" And she says, "Good." And she says, "We're twins." I said, "Twins? How do you figure?" I said, "If we were twins, that means I would either have to be 7 or you would have to be 32. And if you were 32, that means your mom would have to be much older." I said, "And if I were 7, then that means that this would be the year 1993. And she just kind of looked off like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, anyway, how are we twins?" And she says, "Well, because we both have red hair and freckles. That makes us twins." And it's like, okay, in that regard, I guess we're twins, but we're actually cousins. And it was a great time. I did this thing called the airplane, or what some parents refer to as the Superman, where when the kids are lying flat on their back and you pick them up and you hold them sideways and they got their arms sprawled out, and then you just run in circles and provide the propeller sound. They like that. And I guess by what I understood, they went to bed very peacefully and soundly that night because cousin Jared tired them out. In fact, I tired myself out. But it was fun, I don't get to see family that often as much as I'd like to.
Well, you can actually even walk into the room with your nephew and have him pass out on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have a nephew.
Your
cousin?
Yeah, great cousin, is it?
Not a great cousin, just a cousin.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Which one is that? Sammy?
Yeah, remember?
Oh yeah, Sammy.
You came in and he was bawling his eyes out.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, he was out
He-
like a light.
he wanted he wanted to ride Dad's motorcycle too, and the Matt and Missy told him he had to stay in the house, and Dad says, "Oh, I'm sorry, you know, Uncle Wayne would like to, but Mommy and Daddy say you got to stay in."
Yeah.
And he bawled like his little heart was just crushed. He's only 3,
He'll be 3.
or he'll be 3, and it just broke his
Which-
little heart.
We're invited to his birthday party too.
That's what Missy was telling us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a birthday party. And he cried so hard he fell on the living room floor and went to sleep on the living room floor. I had mentioned, I think it's been for the past couple weeks now, what I'd like to do is get a microphone and perhaps maybe get a nice condenser mic that's USB. I've been looking at one, and it's called the Blue Yeti. Many of you have probably heard of this microphone. It's popular on YouTube. And it's popular among users, and I'm thinking that might be the best way to go because it can have, you know, there's all kinds of different features with the Blue Yeti microphone. And what I would like to do, if possible, is find a scissor arm where I can slide the mic into it and then just pull the mic up to my mouth as I'm speaking. I'll have to save up some money, probably a few $100, because the Blue Yeti alone is like $100 or $150 or something like that. But I've been hearing a lot of wonderful reviews. I watched the YouTube video reviews, and the sound quality is amazing. And I'm thinking maybe that's the best way to go. I know there are other cheaper condenser microphones out there, but the Blue Yeti seems to be the popular one. And I know I shouldn't go with what's popular or trendy, but the sound quality is amazing with the Blue Yeti, and that'll be the one I get. So I'm not sure when I'll get it. Probably either in June and July. I would like to do some traveling. I'd like to fly down or fly out or fly somewhere. So it may not be until, well, I don't know actually, because if I save up enough money and you know, after I buy the plane ticket, and if I have any money left out of that, I could go that route. So actually, I don't know when I'm going to buy the microphone, but I'm really looking forward to buying it and hopefully improving the sound quality. Because the microphone and the webcam here, it's nice, but you know, it could be a little sharper. You know, I listened to the videos during playback, and the sound could be a little more sharper, a little better, and it can sound a little more professional. So that's what my aim is. That's what my goal is. Like I said, I don't know when I'm going to get it, but there will be some changes coming soon to the Sunday video updates in terms of a microphone. And I know enough about the Blue Yeti that it can pick up sound from the room. So Dad and Amy would still be able to add their commentary if I adjust the settings on the mic, which, awesome, you know, great. And like I said, there will only be one scissor arm, and I'll, you know, have it pulled down to my mouth, and I'll talk into it and go from there. So with that out of the way, I'd like to take this time to remind all of you to visit GuideStar.org. Yes, GuideStar.org has a complete and comprehensive listing of all the 501c3 nonprofit organizations and LLCs approved by the federal government of the United States of America. Don't be fooled, don't be duped. Visit GuideStar.org today, like right now. So I mentioned this last week, I believe, in last week's video. I don't watch the videos from the weeks prior. I just talk, edit, upload. That's it. May 15th at 3 p.m., I have an appointment with Dr. Scott at the MSU Subspecialties Clinic. It's pediatrics. It's across the street from Sparrow in Lansing. I'm scheduled, of course, to see Dr. Scott. I have some questions. Hopefully he'll have some answers. And as soon as I find out some additional information, I'll probably put together like a special video detailing or at least chronicling some additional information from my battle, because although my battle was 30 years ago, Dr. Scott still has the original yellow folder that I always talk about, where mom and dad had to sign consent forms and do the whole nitty gritty, doing the legal stuff, and every piece of paperwork is involved and included in that case file. And the last time I was there, I was absolutely shocked that Dr. Scott still had that folder. And it's like, wow, that's incredible. But there's some additional information. Hopefully the answers will be inside of that folder. I can't guarantee anything. I'm going to try my best. If he's got the information hidden or tucked away somewhere, I'd love to find out that information and further my education on my battle with Wilms tumor. I want to find out like the date when the port was removed, how many milliliters or milligrams or milliliters of chemo that I was taking, how many, I think I had 8 rounds of radiation treatment, but I would ask him anyway, again, just to make sure, because I've been told just by my mom that I had 8 rounds of radiation. Maybe I did have 8 rounds of radiation, but I want to double check and make sure that the information is accurate. And of course, how big was the tumor, like the size of the tumor, if he has any of that information, how fast was it growing, like how many inches per whatever. I'd like to know that if he has that information, but it's going to be information that I'm going to, all I can do is ask. I mean, he might not say, well, I don't have that information here. And that's okay. That's fine. But I'm pretty confident that he does. And it's not only to further my education, but it's also to further the education of other people. When they ask me questions, I'll have some additional information. I'll have some answers to those questions. So I want to be as informative and educational as possible, although cancer and chemo affects different people differently. But I'll be at MSU Pediatric Subspecialties May 15th at 3 p.m. in Lansing, across the street from Sparrow. And I'll be seeing Dr. Scott, which is 2 weeks from this Wednesday. So I'm kind of looking forward. I wish the circumstances were a little better, because Dr. Scott is a wonderful guy. And, in the past, I have accredited the hospital, the facility. Actually, the accreditation should appropriately go to the physicians and the oncologists and the surgeons who are actually doing the work. After that little stunt at the Sparrow Foundation, it kind of changes my perception now, because not everyone at Sparrow is disrespectful. And there's a lot of nice people there that I absolutely love and treasure dearly. But there are a lot of them who are just rude and snobby and got their heads up each other's asses. So, I don't associate with people like that. Sparrow is good for a lot of things. I'm not going to crush the facility. The facility is the facility. The hospital is a hospital. But a lot of the people there are straight up jackasses. I can read a lot of the testimonials, and I don't know if they're true or not, but I have reason to think that there's a bit of truth tucked in there somewhere, and the reviews aren't good. And at first it kind of troubled me, because it's like, these people saved my life. How can you people say this about a hospital that saves lives? But, everybody has different experiences. Every hospital, you're going to get some dissatisfaction with patients at some point or another. Now, when I was there, we loved our Sparrow peeps. And I still do love a lot of the Sparrow physicians and the people who work behind the scenes. But as far as the Sparrow Foundation, which, by the way, the Sparrow Foundation's not at the hospital. The Sparrow Foundation is down the street from the hospital. It's in its own building. For those people there, I have no respect for any of them now, because because of the incident. When I asked them a question, and the so-called president of the foundation tiptoed around a response when I simply just asked her what's going on? Why was I, banned from the Facebook page? And she was very vague in her responses. And then Mr. Rent-A-Cop, security guard, comes out and says, well, she answered your question. And it's like, excuse me, this has nothing to do with you. Back the fuck off. And so, then it progressed to, me losing my shit with the lady and the security guard, and then I got walked out and issued a trespass warning. But I can still go to the hospital, which is fine. I didn't hurt anybody. Nobody was injured. I didn't punch anybody. I didn't hit anybody. I just lost my temper. Lost my temper, that's all. And most people would say, well, see, I told you Jared has a very bad temper. He's going to go around and do all this shit to all these people. No, it was that particular moment when I lost my cool. I lost my temper. I asked a question, and instead of answering that question, she was very vague, and she stonewalled at every chance she got. And it's like, no, fuck that. Answer my question, please. If I did something wrong, I would want to know what that is so I can correct it, so I can strive to do better next time, or say, look, this is what you did and we kind of don't allow that, or it was just something that, this is the specifics of what you did and it kind of gave us a little scare and so we banned you. If she would have been honest with me about that, if she would have got into specific details, I would have understood. I would have been cool about it, but she didn't. And it ticks me off. Well, you called our office 14 times. Well, you should have answered the fucking first time and we wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have had to drive all the way to Lansing just to be told that I'm not at liberty to discuss that with you. Well, bullshit. It's a very piss poor and unprofessional reflection on the Sparrow Foundation. And it's a wonder how people like that are in that position of being a president of anything, when they're going to be straight up totally fucking dishonest about things that they should be honest about with the public, because they deal with the public. But that's my rant about the Sparrow Foundation. Like I said, I don't have any beef towards Dr. Scott or Dr. Garrett, Dr. Kulkarni. They had nothing to do with it. It's not even the hospital. It's not even Sparrow Hospital or the people there. Because I've had a lot of wonderful people treat me decently at the main Sparrow Hospital, but it's the Sparrow Foundation where I have a problem, and I've always had a problem. Now, anyway. So that's that. Let's see what else is going on. Check day this coming Wednesday. I got to go pay bills, and I got to go to Owasso. I got a new cell phone last week. It's a Galaxy SJ2. And because the other phone that I had, I dropped it. And this time, something fucked up on the phone because the notifications were still coming through the phone, but I couldn't work the touch screen because the screen was blank. Excuse me. But the screen was blank. And so it's like, okay. So now I got to go shell out more money to get a new phone. And it was just under $100 for the phone, the activation fee, and a new case. And I go through Metro PCS. It's like, wow, shot that $100 in the ass. And it's money I'd saved up for my trips, but I needed a phone. And so, I got to have that communication, because if I'm thousands of miles away and Dad calls me, I got to know that he has that communication, and he's got to know that he has that communication back with me. So, yep, I had to do that. And it's pretty much it. I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about. There's a young lady from my hometown. Actually, there is something more to talk. See, there's always something new to talk about, even when Dad and Amy aren't in here. But there actually was another topic I wanted to discuss. There is a young lady from my hometown. She's battling cancer. and she's having a fundraiser for t-shirts, and I ordered one, and with their permission, I'm gonna have a discussion with her parents, and I'm not giving the names of anybody because I learned my lesson, but I'm gonna have a talk with the parents and ask them if it would be okay if I had a little donation jar put up at the local pharmacy like I did for Buddy Boy, who is from New Lothrop, which is the next town over. I did a couple donation jars for him, and now he's gone. He passed away. But I'm going to check with this young lady's parents, and with their permission, I would like to set up a donation jar, use a picture, and have like a little caption. She's from my hometown. She gets treated at DeVos Children's Hospital in Grand Rapids, and I'm sure the money would help for gas or lodging or food or whatever. And I would be more than happy to help in any way I can. Now, I didn't have to announce that, but because I made it public on my YouTube video here for this week, for those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, this video, if you're watching this, will tie in corroboration with a post if I have the permission to do it, which means that you know that it's legitimate. And just to state for the record, in all of the other donation jars that I've had set up, the two for Buddy Boy and then another for a warrior who lives south of Lansing, they get every penny of what I collect, every penny. So it's, I'm very legit when it comes to, having donation jars and things like that. I give every red cent to them. And if there's like an off number, like if it's not an even round number or an even round amount, I'll take money out of my own pocket. I'll take change out of my change till in my bedroom, and I'll add to it just to make sure that it's a round number. And this isn't for props or pats on the back. I don't need validation. I don't need any of that. But like I said, because I'm talking about it here, and if I'm able to do it, I will be able to make a post about it, and this particular video will tie in corroboration with a Facebook post, so it's legitimate. And that's what I'm about: legitimacy and helping people honestly. In fact, we just had another scum of the fucking planet who was faking having cancer, and she raised a lot of money. And when I read the post, I felt like I was going to puke, because that not only when people do this kind of shit, not only do they not understand that you're making a mockery of something that is real and deadly, but you're also taking money away from the people who actually fucking need it. It's not a joke. It's not funny. It's not a fucking investment that you can shirt tail yourselves to this. Oh, well, I have cancer. People will pity me. Well, that's not the way it works, because nobody asked to have cancer. Nobody. And every time I talk about this, people who are scamming and frauding and just doing shit they're not supposed to be doing, it gets under my skin, as it should. You don't have to be a cancer survivor or a patient to get upset by the fact that people are fucking scam artists. I don't care if, we're doing this for a good. No, there's nothing good about being a scam artist. Nothing. Or a fraud. Or asking or saying dumb shit on social media, especially when you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And I don't have a problem calling people out on this. I don't. That kind of shit just annoys me to no end. And I saw that on Facebook, and it's like, oh, I feel sick to my stomach. I want to puke. Every time someone does shit like this, it makes me want to vomit. Wow. the nerve of people nowadays. And it's one of the reasons why I share GuideStar at the bottom of the screen every week. I've talked about this any number of times. I've gone over the reasons, but the reason that I share GuideStar is because it's tied in with the federal government. They're going to have the legitimate nonprofit organizations. They're going to have that information logged into their system. Now, what I understand is that it takes some time for the nonprofit to actually become official. So it's not a way for me to shirk off what's not legal, but it's also a way for me to point out that there are people who are actually claiming that they have a nonprofit organization when in fact they don't. And GuideStar is like the top resource and reference in finding and gathering that information if you are so inclined. And if your curiosity is aroused, that would be the website to find that information. And it's like the chief reason why I shared the link to GuideStar, because anything you want to know about a nonprofit organization, how much money they make or whatever, how much money they've made, or it has all the information there, the name, the CEO, and dollar amounts. It's got all that. So yeah, that's why I encourage you, if you are a family whose child is battling cancer, please reference GuideStar before you give your money to anybody. Like I said, I have friends, really good friends, who actually are starting legitimate nonprofit organizations, and I would endorse them. But I want to make sure, that everything checks out clearly. It's not anything against my friends, but if we're going to do this, I want to make sure that we do it the right way. I don't want to promote something that isn't yet visible to the website, because if it's visible to the website, then that means that the IRS, the federal government, said, okay, it seems legit. So that's why I don't want to push any nonprofit organizations just yet. But my friends have started one, a 501c3. And when it's finalized or when it's approved by the federal government, then I will share a link to that to get the word out. What are you boys doing?
Just don't let them out.
Well, why would I let them out? I'm sitting here doing my video.
They don't need to come out.
All right, boys. That's Barkley and Scruffy. Scruffy, come here. Hey, come on, boys. Scruff. Come here, Scruff. Come here. Oh, want to say hi? Want to say hi, Scruff? Hi, Scruff. Oh, what's my baby doggy doing? Oh, yes. Oh, your little heart is just a racing, Scruff. Come here, Bart. Oh, buddy. Oh, okay. I love you too. I love you too. Come on. Look at the screen, baby. Look, baby. Look. Scruff, up here. Look at the screen. Oh my God. Look, buddy, look at the dog. Oh, look at the doggy. Look at the doggy. All right, go ahead. So Scruffy gets in the Sunday video update. It's been kind of like I said, it's been a long week, but there really hasn't been too much happening. There was a shooting at a synagogue, I think, in California, if I'm not mistaken, or a monastery or something. See, I heard something about a shooting at a religious place of worship in California, and I know I'm wrong. I'm getting it wrong, but I've heard bits and pieces of it. I think I saw it on Facebook or I heard it on the news, just nonchalantly listening. It's terrible. So another shooting. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't talk much about gun rights because, it's a very slippery slope, and you're bound to offend someone. You're bound to make it sound as if you're in favor of trampling over the rights of gun ownership and people who use guns responsibly, which was never my intention. But I'm just trying to find ways of, I'm just like everybody else. How do we find ways to diminish gun violence, because you can't very well strip guns from everybody, because we have that constitutional right. But I don't know what it's going to take, really. I don't have any answers. That's why I really don't talk about it a lot. But I don't know what's going to happen today. I'm just kind of hanging out. I was going to get some sleep. I am kind of tired again. I can feel it coming, but it's okay. I'll make it through another Sunday video update, and I'll probably try to stay awake long enough to do the editing and upload it to YouTube. So yes, by this time, the video has already been uploaded and edited. Sounds like a lawnmower or an air compressor. I don't know. Whatever that was, it was loud. I've been here for over a half an hour already. Holy moly. So yeah, back to the microphone. Blue Yeti seems to be like the right way to go. And I'll have to find like a scissor arm and potentially maybe a shock mount. I don't know if I'm going to get a pop filter. I might, depending on how much money I have. If it's within my budget, I'll see what I can do. But there's going to be some change coming to the Sunday video update. I might even want to get like a desk lamp that plugs into an outlet, something that doesn't run on batteries, because this here really, I mean, it's okay for a while, but then the lights dim because the battery is dying inside of it, and I don't want to use anything that requires the use of a battery. I want it all to be plugged in so I know that it's gonna get the power that it needs. But yeah, there's going to be some changes. I just don't know when. I might have to buy each thing gradually, separately, until I get everything I need. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. So like we had the Notre Dame museum caught fire. It's terrible. I mean, any fire is terrible. In fact, there was a local business in Corunna, Michigan, that caught on fire. It was called Johnny V's Smokehouse. It's a total loss. And so my thoughts go out to the owners of Johnny V's. I know there's another Johnny V's in Perry, but the one in Corunna had burnt down. So all my love and thoughts go out to the owners of Johnny V's in Corunna. So I don't know, boys. I don't know what else to talk about today. I think I've pretty much covered everything. I really don't know what else to talk about. I still keep in touch with my friends off Facebook. I email and text and call them. Some people are even asking me for my Skype. So I will see what I can do about putting all my contact information on Facebook, so that way my friends will know how to contact me, that there are other means of getting in touch away from social media. So that's that. I don't know. I might go up to my cousins today. I might go up to Matt and Missy's. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. But I'm sure the kids would like to see me because they have school tomorrow, and well, at least the two older ones do, Nevaeh and Hunter. They've got school tomorrow, and little Sammy, he's only 2, he's going to be 3, so he's not in school yet, but he will be soon enough. I haven't been to Heidi and Elwood's in quite some time. They had a birthday party for Ethan, and I didn't make it up there because Ethan's birthday and Hunter's birthday are also on Dad's birthday. And so Dad's birthday was, celebrated over at our friend's house, Greg and Holly's. And then, we all went over there. Gladwin, because they live in Gladwin County, which is up north. It's like 2 counties away. It's quite a drive up there. And it was my dad's birthday, and if we all could have been together at the same time, it would have been different. But when you have to make choices, and it's like, well, I'm with my dad, and Oakley is just right, over here, and that's where our friends live at. And so they had a nice birthday party for him, had a nice barbecue, and we all got together. We got drunk. Dad, in fact, it was, I think, 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago when Dad woke up staggering. He was still drunk in the Sunday video update. It was hilarious. But we had a good time. And I told Greg and Holly we'll have to make more plans this summer and get together and, I don't know, have cookouts or go to a swimming hole somewhere. I don't swim, but, just all of us to be together and have fun. And, that's what it's about. Friends getting together and enjoying each other's company and, just making a day of it. I'd probably have to sit in the shade because I don't swim and I can't be in the sun for a long time. So I'd probably just sit in the shade with my journal or doing something. I don't know. But, it should be a lot of fun. Just like Matt and Missy uptown. We had talked about getting together this summer, having barbecues, bonfires, and all that good stuff. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get together. And absolutely, I'd love to. I'd love to make plans with you guys and, just hang out and enjoy each other's company and maybe tip back a 24 or 30 pack. Yeah, be nice. But anyway, I'm just rambling now. I'm just rambling. That's really all I'm doing, just rambling. And there's a show on television that Dad loves, and I'm sure all of you love it as well. It's called Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood. Gran Torino is like one of my favorite movies, but Clint Eastwood has been in so many movies. Outlaw Josie Wales and Dirty Harry, and he was in a movie called A Perfect World with Kevin Costner and Laura Dern, and at that time a little boy named T.J. Lothar. Good movie. It was back in the 90s when A Perfect World came out. But Clint Eastwood is like he's like the Cadillac of acting. He's one of my favorite actors. He's always been one of my favorite actors. Every Which Way But Loose, I think, is another movie he was in with Clyde, the primate buddy of his, which is really funny. And it sounds like a lawnmower out there. Sounds like a lawnmower. I have no clue, but I'm pretty sure it's a lawnmower because it smells like fresh cut grass. I can smell it. Maybe it is a lawnmower. Who knows? But anyway, I have no idea what I want to talk about from this moment forward. There's really nothing much to talk about other than yesterday it was kind of a drag and I just didn't want to come out of my room, and it happens. Actually there is something I can talk about, and it's kind of been on my mind lately. I see this on Facebook a lot where people, they like to make it a habit to preach kindness. They want to foster this idea that they're on the side of righteousness when it comes to being kind and being nice to people while simultaneously treating people like shit. I'm sure if you have Facebook, you probably experience the same thing. And I, for one, get sick and tired of the hypocrisy Uh, it's like, you know, if you're gonna preach kindness, and like these anti-bullying advocates, you know, they talk a lot about anti-bullying and how awful it is. But you know what? They're no different. They also bully people. I've seen it happen. It's happening now. I can assure you. Um, all you got to do is look. Just pay attention to the anti-bullying advocates. Um, they seem to not follow their own advice very well. They don't practice what they preach. Um, Even the slightest little bit of criticism, it doesn't matter what, just a pinch of criticism, like a hairline fracture of criticism, and they buckle under pressure. I kind of think it's hilarious that they get so easily offended because, well, how dare he laugh at something that I say, or how dare he mock or put something down that I said? Well, how dare you fill people's heads with a bunch of bullshit notions that life is all lollipops and dandelions? It's not. Anybody who is living knows this. You know, I'm not one of these people. I'm not going to blow sunshine up your asses. I'm going to tell you the truth. You know, I'm not going to bullshit. I'm going to tell you straight. And all these people who, you know, and I'm not trying to denounce anti-bullying advocacy, because we need that. There, you know, I've been a target of bullying, even here on YouTube, but I've also been a bullying of or target of bullying on Facebook and Twitter, and it is a problem. Cyberbullying is also a problem. Michigan did pass a law where cyberbullying is now against the law, and if you engage in that behavior and the victim harms or kills himself as a result, you could face serious time in prison, because now it is against the law. But you know, I've been bullied my entire life, and I still get talked about. I still get bullied. But if I don't have to see it, I don't fucking care. You know, ignorance is bliss this time around. If I don't have to see it or hear about it, I don't care. And you know, I appreciate the people who look out for me, and I can't say that I'm not appreciative, because I am. But at the same, on the same side of that token, it's like, ignorance is bliss. I don't want to know about what people are saying. I don't care, because a lot of it's bullshit anyway, if not all of it is bullshit. And I don't want to have to read all that shit, and then I'm getting stressed out because these people are they're relentless. They don't fucking stop. So I just don't want to see it. So I try to keep that out of my life. I seem to have an improvement in my attitude, because I block out all the bullshit. And people are telling me, they message me saying, well, such and such person's still talking shit. Let them. I can't stop them, and I'm not going to confront them about it, because they know how much of cowards they are, that they have to use Facebook to talk shit. They have to hide behind a computer or a phone. They have to hide behind a profile to spew garbage about somebody else that they don't like. And that's okay. If you don't like me, I don't care. But it's another thing when you're going to start gossip. And with that being said, if you have evidence, I'm going to throw down the gauntlet here to anybody who's watching this, because I know my videos get shared on Facebook unanimously among my haters. So here's the deal. These lies that you're perpetuating to everyone, I have an idea for you. You show evidence of a claim. There is a claim. There's evidence of the claim. Now, when I say show me evidence of the nature of your claim, that's the one thing you never provide. It's the one thing I never see. Ever. And I've demanded this for the past, 2 or 3 years now. And this is, it's rumors, it's drama, it's gossip. I demand evidence of the nature of the claim you are making. If you're accusing me of saying or doing something, I want to see proof where I've actually said or done it. And each and every time I demand this, I always get the shirk of, well, I don't have to prove anything to you. Then you're a fucking liar. And nobody should believe you at this point. Because if you can't even show me what it is you're accusing me of and think that you can circumvent responsibility for making your case, then I don't give a shit what you have to say. You're just a dick. And I just don't care. At this point, I don't care because nobody has ever shown me anything. But the thing is, if anybody has evidence of the nature of the claims that are being made, here's an idea: put it in a police report. If I'm such a threat or if I'm such a bad person, put it in a police report. Have the cops show up here, because then we can have a talk about things that I've never seen, because I've never done it. And maybe I shouldn't make that assertion that I didn't do it, because then I would have to, that's a claim, and I would have to demonstrate that I didn't do it, which I can't demonstrate that I didn't do something, because that means any number of things that I can't begin to explain, because it's like fucking brain surgery. But if I didn't do it, how am I going to prove something that I didn't do? But this idea that people are convincing people or trying to sway people on their way of thinking, if I'm such a bad person, why don't you put those alleged supposed evil acts that I've done, why don't you put it in a police report? Oh, and you need evidence to substantiate the claim in order to put into the police report. So keep that in mind. I'm not losing sleep. I don't fear getting in trouble for anything, because I haven't done anything. So this is probably one of the most intrepid offers that I've ever made to anybody. But if you have evidence of the nature of a claim, why don't you prove your case if it's such a big deal to you? Or do you just like to sit and spread lies about people, which I'm leaning more towards the latter. So, because I know there is no evidence and I'm not worried about it. And then at this point, someone's going to try to doctor up something that's fake and unoriginal. And it's like, people know better. I think everybody knows better at this point. And the mere fact that I'm sitting here for another fucking week should speak volumes about the gossip and the rumor mill. It should tell you everything you need to know. Well, Jared's sneaking under the radar. I'm not sneaking under any radar. Would I be sitting here making all my videos public? I think not. I have nothing to hide. So where's your proof? Where's your evidence? And I'm going to hold your feet to the fire until you show me something. Not a claim that someone else made, because while that is evidence of a claim, it's not evidence of the nature of the claim that was made. I want to actually see proof of what it is I'm being accused of saying or doing. Hasn't happened yet. Thus, I don't give a fuck. But anyway, Barkley, why aren't you stopping me from talking? Why aren't you barking or interrupting me? You should be interrupting. He's over there sleeping on the couch. He's snoozing. He's sawing logs. But other than that, those were some things I needed to talk about, and I've been thinking about that, contemplating that for a while. But other than that, I'm doing great. I mean, I'm, taking it one day at a time. I get, I have my good and bad days like anybody else. I have my ups and downs, just like the next person. But I can safely say that even with all that being said, I'm still here. I haven't thrown in the towel. So I can't. There's people who not only there's people who need me, but being strong-willed is something that nature taught me. You know, I'm not trying to pass myself off as some pacifist or some kind of a violent person. I'm neither or. I try to do what's right all the time, every time, and I want to help people. But when someone crosses a line and they put my reputation or my name and they paint it with a very ugly brush, then that becomes a problem. And I'm not going to sit and take it. I shouldn't have to take it. And I'm not going to take it. So that's the way that goes. But I don't know what I'm going to do. It's, let's see, what time is it? It is, it's going on 4 o'clock, and I've been here for around 50 minutes or so. So I suppose I can close out the Sunday video update. I can wrap it up, do the editing, upload it, and thank you for listening to me blab for another week. There's really nothing happening today. It would help me if Dad and Amy were in here, but that's okay. Maybe next week, or maybe we can do a special video. We can do something special for the YouTube channel. Yeah, what? Treasure. She didn't say treasure, Dad. She said charger. I can hear her from in here. And he's actually outside, and he misspoke what she said, or misheard what she said. I'm getting hungry too, so I should probably wrap this up. But anyway, thank you so much for watching another installment of the Sunday video update. We will be in the month of May this time next week. So we'll do our very first May Sunday video update. So much love to all of you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Peace out. I'm out of here. Take care.